to win the tip-off. And there is that man, Xavier Johnson, with the ball. Indiana swings it around with the first possession of the day. Trey Galloway has it. Back to Johnson in the corner. Thought about the shot, drives inside, and a foul is called on the Greyhounds. On a bit of a shove, it'll be Indiana ball still.
Indiana swinging the ball outside the perimeter on that first possession, and we know Johnson how quickly he can get to the rack. First foul goes against the Greyhounds.
Johnson, a tremendous athlete. David Eja called for the foul. Now Malik Renew goes up for the shot, rolls out, but Mackenzie Mbako can't get his first career point. And finally, UIndy, with Josiah Tynes, comes away with it. Back to Tynes, over to Jesse Bingham. Now Paul Zielinskis gets it back to Bingham. UIndy can't penetrate yet. Now here's Tynes, who'll pull up for the 16-footer, too strong.
Got the right shot, the pick and roll. Shot just didn't fall.
Galloway up to Mbako, knocked away by Jesse Bingham. Paul Zielinskis finds Josiah Tynes, no score. So UIndy team getting this good experience before they go into Division II play. Once again, they were upset last year. Zielinski's going to try a three, and he hits the first points of the game.
33% three-point shooter last year, knocks his first one down on a great screen as well from Tynes.
First points in a Greyhounds jersey coming over from Quincy University. He transferred within the GLVC as an off-ball foul will be called on Kendrick Choa.
It's the Conference Player of the Year right there. A little handsy with Xavier Johnson. And already 2 quick fouls. You could probably tell that UIndy players, maybe that adrenaline or the nerves kicking in a little bit here in this first 90 seconds.
And that's what Xavier Johnson does so well. He gets to the foul line more than just about any guard in the Big Ten. Hasn't gotten there yet, but has drawn 2 fouls. Inbound to Khalil Ware. Ware going up, can't get his first IU points, and he falls to the ground. As here comes Bingham for the Greyhounds. And they say Bingham got fouled outside. Mackenzie Mbako, 5-star freshman, called for the foul. Only points of the game have come from a Paul Zielinskis 3 for UIndy. Bingham down to Kendrick Choa. Choa couldn't handle the pass.
Well, there's that size mismatch you see down low. The big man, Khalil Ware for Indiana, the 7-footer. You can tell just his presence makes everyone else a bit unnervy.
A full court press from the Greyhounds. As the Hoosiers get it across the timeline. With Trey Galloway, the senior, become a captain of this team, needs to step into more of a leader role this season. He gets it to the post to Malik Renew against Jesse Bingham. Renew goes up and finishes for the first points of the year.
He's someone that's expected to have a big jump from freshman to sophomore year. The Greyhounds completely flooded down low, and Renew a really nice move to get to his right and finish.
Josiah Tynes can't handle the pass from Paul Zielinskis. Just a careless turnover back to the Hoosiers.
3 fouls, a few turnovers on each end. You could tell it's a slow start, and you could tell both teams working out the cobwebs.
Here is Xavier Johnson, goes left, and he's blocked up top by David Eja. Zielinskis on the move, finds Jesse Bingham. Now Josiah Tynes down to Kendrick Choa in the post. He's trying to make a move on Ware, can't finish. Renew with the outlet to Trey Galloway. Galloway in transition, cannot convert. Indiana hasn't been able to get those shots to go inside.
And missed a few easy ones down low, a little bit of contact as well, but no call. Indiana's been trying to flood the offensive boards, but only gotten 1 so far.
Here's Jesse Bingham to Zielinskis, and knocked away for a moment. They swing it back out to Tynes for a 3. Off target, Ware gets the board for IU.
That's Tynes' spot, 42% last year from downtown.
Now Galloway draws a foul as he calls Zielinskis out of position.
Foul number 5, Paul Zielinskis, his first team's
Greyhounds make a few substitutions. Jarvis Walker into the game for the first time. Also, Julian Steinfeld comes in.
As does number 0.
And Dylan Ingram. Both teams with just one bucket thus far. Renew scored a layup for Indiana. Paul Zelinskis drilled a 3 for the Greyhounds. This in-state clash exhibition between D1 IU and D2 U-Indy. U-Indy, one of the top 10 teams in Division II last season. Inside, Malik Renew for IU. Going against Ejah, shot clock running down, he doesn't realize it. And that'll be a 30-second violation, rather, on the Hoosiers.
He didn't realize how much time there was looking for a pass. It took an extra step, nearly traveled, but either way, a turnover.
You could tell this is game one, Austin.
Yeah. Fouls, some miscommunication. Both coaches eager to tell their respective ball clubs what they're doing right and wrong to this point.
Jarvis Walker gives it over to Dylan Ingram. Now Ejah will try a 3 off right iron. Galloway comes away for Indiana. Xavier Johnson back to Galloway. Good pass. Hoosiers take the lead, and Mbako gets the steal. IU has numbers. Mbako, right corner. Johnson, Khalil Ware off the mark. Loose ball. Ware grabs it. Mbako thought about a 3. Drives inside. And he's fouled going up. Ooh, a lot going on there. Are filing in to watch their team for the first time this year in Bloomington. Mbako can't get the first free throw to fall. Still looking for those first points in an IU jersey. Originally committed to Duke. After Duke had a few more people come in, he decided to decommit, reopen his commitment, and he decided to come to Bloomington in May as he gets his first point with the Hoosiers. UND has it now. Jarvis Walker. Over to Kendrick Choa. Choa back to Walker, and a foul is going to be called on Choa. That's his second on a moving screen.
Foul number 1, Kendrick Choa. That's his second, team's 5th.
So Choa last year was the best player in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. Now he's back for his 5th year. But he has 2 fouls early. He stays in the game. Xavier Johnson trying to squeeze 1-2 Mackenzie Mbako, but Mbako couldn't handle it.
Yeah, you can see a bit of miscommunication. Johnson thought Mbako was going to go all the way back out inside the 3-point line, but Mbako was going the other way.
He's swinging around. Paul Zelinskis looking for his second 3 of the game. Can't hit, and it went behind the backboard, out of bounds.
UND very aggressive with their screens. They've gotten some really good open looks, but only the first shot has fallen for Zelinskis.
It's the only points of the game for the Greyhounds. Indiana beats the press. They still have their starting 5 in. UND has made some changes. Khalil Ware down low, fires it over to Mbako. Mbako inside, Mackenzie Mbako lost the handle, and it'll be out of bounds, staying with the Hoosiers.
Greyhounds going with a 2-3 zone, and when that happens, you got to be patient, and then eventually they get Mbako driving, and the ball tipped, went under the backboard.
Zelinski's got a hand on it. Galloway looking to drive. Trey Galloway out of Culver, Indiana. Up top, it's Malik Renew. 1 second on the shot clock. Johnson has to fire one up, and for the second time, Indiana wasn't ready for that shot clock to expire. At least they got a shot that time, but no good. Driving down the lane, Jarvis Walker misses. Choa gets swatted by Khalil Ware. Xavier Johnson to Mackenzie Mbako. Mbako with the left. No, second try, no, and Mbako will head back to the foul line.
Indiana having some trouble finishing down low. A pair of blocks on one end. Hoosiers have numbers the other way, but Mbako seems he can't buy a bucket right now.
The McDonald's All-American to the line for the second time this afternoon. Went 1 of 2 on his first trip, and 2 strong on the first attempt this time. As we see the Indianapolis native C.J. Gunn check in for the Hoosiers, coming in for Trey Galloway. Julian Steinfeld and Zach Zool come in for the Greyhounds. Scoring has been hard to come by thus far. Mbako misses both. Still a 5-3 game. Xavier Johnson hounding Josiah Tynes up the court. And Austin, that one was coming straight to you.
I had it. That was my one shining moment. It's only October. That could have been it. Computer's okay. Everything else is okay.
Sitting here courtside, you got to be ready at all times. I think you would have been all right if it came all the way.
It was right here. I didn't quite have the reflexes.
Stays with you, Indy, as Tynes sets up the offense. Here's Jesse Bingham, the Indianapolis native. Bingham going to stop and pop, left it short, and Malik Renew tracks it down. Neither team has scored since we came out of the break. Renew up top, Malik Renew lobs one up for Khalil Ware, gets his own rebound. Mbako's going to lob one up for Ware. Ware trying to go up, good defense, good contest by Julian Steinfeld. Now here's Tynes. UIndy just one bucket so far. Jesse Bingham wants to change that. He can't do so, but an offensive board for Sean Craig. Craig going up against Ware, banks it home.
Those second chance opportunities in the games Indiana lost last year, they really had trouble on the defensive glass, and a second chance opportunity put home by UIndy.
The sophomore Sean Craig ties us up. 5 points apiece here as Xavier Johnson spins. Gets inside, crafty finish, but can't get it all the way. And Steinfeld comes away with it for the Greyhounds. UIndy's playing pretty good defense, Austin.
It's not easy with a 7-footer in Ware, but they have one of their own.
Tynes can't hit on the jumper. Gunn has it for IU. Gunn has it taken away by Sean Craig. Numbers for the Greyhounds. In the corner, a three is up. Rattles out for Zach Zool. Bingham can't hit on the tip in. And Indiana looking to push. Malik Renew over to CJ Gunn. Pump fake, steps inside for the two. Left it short. Now Zach Zool will slow it down for the Greyhounds. Here's Josiah Tynes, kicking it out to Craig. He'll try a three. Off back rim, good box out by Mackenzie Mbako. And Mike Woodson wants a timeout. His team is struggling to score. Both teams are here. Senior, but as a junior in the state of Ohio, a lot of Indiana fans excited for Cups, the point guard's career, as he's guarded by Josiah Tynes. Tynes knocks the ball away from him. So Cups gives it to CJ Gunn, who they trap immediately. Anthony Walker in for the first time as well, the Miami transfer. Gunn in the corner. CJ Gunn gonna find some space inside and get fouled. He'll go to the line. CJ Gunn, of course, from Lawrence North High School in Indianapolis, playing against his hometown team today.
You see an entire line change basically for Indiana. A whole bunch of players in, but you like to see CJ Gunn getting towards the rack, a guy who settled a lot for mid-rangers last year. And Indiana, boy, they are struggling at the free throw line just as UIndy is struggling from beyond the arc.
1 of 5 now at the stripe for the Hoosiers. UIndy hasn't shot a free throw yet, but like you said, they're 1 of 8 from downtown. Gunn gets the second one to fall. Now Indiana shows a bit of a press too, but they back off. Once again, Cups in at point guard guarding Josiah Tynes. 2-on-2 matchup. Tynes directing things for UIndy. Up top to Bingham. Two Indianapolis natives going against each other. The fifth-year Bingham misses everything on the shot, but it's off of Peyton Sparks. The Ball State transfer couldn't corral it. It'll stay with the Greyhounds. 8 on the shot clock.
We talked with Bingham this week, and he said CJ Gunn, even though a few years younger, quote-unquote, belonged there as a freshman. And here's another new Indiana face in Peyton Sparks.
Sparks also from Indiana, from Winchester, as the Hoosiers come away with the basketball. It's Cups. Up to Anthony Walker. Anthony Leal in the game. He finds CJ Gunn. Gunn can't hit the three, but Sparks, that's what he does. Back out to Anthony Leal. Sparks spin move, left hand, beautiful finish.
Now for the first time the crowd can get on its feet. What a move from Sparks, Ball State transfer, the MAC freshman of the year a few years ago, averaged 13 points last year with the Cardinals. Supposed to be a big spark, no pun intended, off the bench.
Corner, Zach Zool tries the three. Drills it. Second three of the game for UIndy. First points for Zool in a UIndy uniform. Tied up at 8.
UIndy averaged about 8 threes last year, shooting at a 36% clip.
Gunn keeps firing. That time he hits.
Important this year for Indiana and CJ Gunn's confidence to go up.
Jesse Bingham out to Dylan Ingram. And they get it back to the point guard, Tynes. Josiah Tynes going to step back for a three of his own. Not there, and Anthony Leal grabs the board for IU. Cups open in the corner. Flat on that shot. And it was a foul on Indiana as Steinfeld was chasing down the rebound. Pace has picked up here, Austin. It was a very slow start for both teams. I think everybody is a bit more comfortable now.
Absolutely, and of course all the new guys out for Indiana, 4 of the 5 after that timeout, so they're trying to increase the pace as well. And some more scoring. We were waiting on it. We knew it was going to come.
Anthony Walker almost got a steal for the Hoosiers. Walker, who a season ago took Indiana out of the NCAA tournament as a member of the Miami Hurricanes. And they say he lets them know all the time that he did that last year. Probably the biggest trash talker on the team.
I would too if I were him. Averaged 5 points last year, but his potential we saw 3 years ago at Miami had a better season, averaged closer to double digits. Interesting to see what his role will be this year with the Hoosiers.
He's been to the Final Four and Elite Eight. The most tournament experience on this IU team. Pump fake, Sean Craig gonna shoot the three. Off to the left. Here come the Hoosiers, leading by 2. Leo back up to Gabe Cups. Now to CJ Gunn. Sparks squeezes one into Gunn, who finishes with the foul. What a pass by Peyton Sparks, and the finish by CJ Gunn.
As I mentioned, Gunn is supposed to have a pretty big jump from his freshman to his sophomore year, and his ability there to go to his weaker left hand and finish. He shot over 50% last year from the floor, and an impressive bucket there for Gunn, but we've seen him struggle a bit at the free throw line as well.
Gunn last season shot about 80% on his free throws, but went 1 for 2 earlier today. And he doesn't make that one. So he can't finish the three-point play, but it is a 4-point lead for Indiana. UIndy works it around. Jesse Bingham has it. Over to Ejaw. Josiah Tynes, inside, they swing it around, back to Bingham. He hits the three.
3-point basket, Jesse Bingham.
Jesse Bingham said, growing up, he played a few summer ball games here in Assembly Hall. As Indiana gets it down low to Anthony Leal. Knocked out of bounds, it stays with IU. You see Anthony Walker, talked about him earlier. Beat IU in the second round in Albany last year. Of course, that Miami team made it all the way to the Final Four where they lost to the eventual national champions, the UConn Huskies. Leal to inbound for Indiana, finds Gabe Cups. Cups wearing the number 2 for the Hoosiers. Looking for some space to operate off a screen. Right corner, Anthony Leal, the Bloomington native. He's double teamed in the corner and throws it away. Ejaw comes away with it for the Greyhounds. Tynes up ahead, chases it down. Gunn dives on the floor, comes away with it, but then Ejaw tips it, kicked by CJ Gunn. He knew it right away. Had a bit of a grin on his face. So it'll stay with UIndy after the big skirmish.
It's a football Sunday. We're seeing football passes, a little soccer kicking it around. All part of the first game jitters you're trying to get out.
Gunn really struggled to score last year, but that's one part of his game that the coaching staff liked. He was a good fighter on loose balls. Defense just putting his nose in and doing the dirty work. Zelinskis thought about another three. He's going to try to drive inside. Sean Craig lost the handle and has it taken away by Gunn right on cue. CJ Gunn fast break with the flush.
Obviously, Indiana lost Tamar Bates to the transfer portal. They're kind of looking for that extra guy off the bench to give him a real spark on both sides of the ball. And so far, C.J. Gunn with a few nice plays on both ends of the floor.
Tynes gets it over into the corner. Ija can't hit the three, but Craig gets the offensive board. And he's going to be called for an offensive foul. Once again, it's C.J. Gunn making the play.
Scoring history as a freshman, started in 62 games over 6 years.
Indiana has the ball out of the break with some life coming into the building now. Here's Malik Renew in the post. Renew going against Julian Steinfeld, finds the left side of the glass.
Renew's got that left hand of his that he favors, and even on the right block, spins to his left and scores.
Second bucket of the day for the sophomore. UIndy swings it around. Three in the corner. Not that time from Dylan Ingram, and Julian Steinfeld has the ball slip out of his hands out of bounds.
UIndy now 3 for 15 from beyond the arc. They've taken a total of 22 field goals, Zion. 15 of them have been from behind the line.
They have been perimeter oriented so far. As Indiana pulling away a bit here. Freshman Gabe Cupp stays in the game at point guard. Defended by Josiah Tynes. Renew backdoor to Trey Galloway. Couldn't get the layup to fall, but the foul was called. We've seen some good passes. Renew, Sparks, these Indiana big men are making plays.
Yeah, I love the cut inside and the selflessness for these Indiana players, especially the guards making those cuts to the basket. I know Indiana struggled so far at the line, but Galloway last year, pretty solid.
As Jarvis Walker called for that foul. Galloway hits the first of his 2 free throws. IU now 3 of 8 at the line. UIndy still yet to attempt a free throw today. Short arms that one. But the Hoosiers are up by 6. Here's Jarvis Walker with the ball. Back to the point guard, Tynes. Walker looking for someone to pass it. Here's Tynes, 10 on the shot clock. Back to Walker, he's gonna step inside, take the long 2. Indiana comes away with it with Galloway. Trey Galloway down to Malik Renew. Renew inside, Steinfeld hounding him. He goes over Steinfeld but can't hit.
Yeah, Renew probably should have passed that one out going up against the big 7-footer.
And now he finds himself open underneath, lets Renew fly by, and he slams it home with 2 hands. Steinfeld, the German 7-footer for the Greyhounds, gets his first points today. Here's Trey Galloway driving baseline, runner too strong. Now UIndy in transition. Walker inside, picks up his dribble. Good defense by the Hoosiers, taken away by Anthony Walker. Walker loses the handle, and the other Walker, Jarvis, steals it from him, but there was no one around, and Trey Galloway comes away with it. In the corner, Gabe Cupps didn't take the 3, up and under. Ball tipped out of bounds, back to UIndy.
Another chaotic sequence there, ball flying around. Cupps had a shot at a 3, but he's not known necessarily as a 3-point shooter, and now a timeout taken by the Greyhounds.
First,
You know, one and done, and then a legendary player in Trace Jackson Davis along with 2 other starters. So other than Xavier Johnson, obviously started early on last year, and Trey Galloway, who was a mainstay in the lineup, Indiana got to replace a lot of talent from last year that finished 2nd in the conference.
David Ija sinks the 3. It's a 1-point game. Trey Galloway has it for IU. They set 2 screens for him. He finds Xavier Johnson. Anthony Walker gets it right back to Johnson. Johnson inside. Mackenzie Mbako up for the layup. Strong finish.
And good positioning there for Mbako, making the pass shorter for Johnson, kind of sitting there in the corner near the block, and then just bodies his way to the bucket.
Josiah Tynes, Ija going for back-to-back trays. He hits it.
3-point basket, Ija.
Shot 28% last year from downtown, but he's feeling it. You could tell maybe if one guy starts making threes, the rest of the team can feel that as well.
Mbako just scored for IU. Now he takes Jesse Bingham on, but gives it over to Xavier Johnson. Johnson picks up his dribble, turns it over to Bingham. But Johnson gets it right back, and a sloppy pass. Mbako wanted to shoot a corner three. Johnson wanted him to cut inside. And that's that connection that they'll probably grow.
Decision to decommit from Duke and come to Indiana. Obviously, Mike Woodson did a great job with Hood Schifino last year, so Mbako has a lot on his plate this year if he wants to leave Bloomington after just one season.
He grew up in New Jersey. His parents are Haitian and Nigerian. As he guards Jesse Bingham, out to Josiah Tynes. Can't take the lead for you, Indy. They almost do so on a tip-in, but Walker couldn't finish. Here is Mackenzie Mbako as Indiana gets it back to their point guard and their captain, Xavier Johnson. Johnson gets the screen from Khalil Ware. They lob it into Ware. He goes up and finishes over David Ija.
Yeah, good patience from Ware. Could have gone with a dunk, but opted to wait and just give himself the easy finish with his right.
Ija has hit a couple threes today, thought about it in the corner. But now here's Bingham. Swinging it around, Sean Craig could not handle the pass. Craig shot 47% from three last year. Sure, he wanted to fire one away, but you got to catch the ball first. As Khalil Ware hit that last shot, transfer from Oregon as here comes Mackenzie Mbako right down the lane for the slam. 4 straight points for IU out of the break.
Obviously, Ware in the middle, you see an Oregon transfer, someone who's expected to replace a lot of those minutes from Race Thompson and Trace Jackson Davis.
Jarvis Walker almost lost it, but now goes up for the layup and swatted by Ware again. Trey Galloway drives inside, finger roll, left it short. Galloway kind of got caught in the air. But we see Khalil Ware at 7 feet tall. That's the impact they want him to have all season long. Indiana up by 4 now, under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Josiah Tynes blocked again by Ware. But on the deflection, on the rebound, is Sean Craig.
Indiana having trouble when Ware gets those blocks to bring home the rebound. Khalil averaged 1.3 blocks last year with the Ducks.
Malik Renew shuffled his feet. So that'll be a traveling violation, another turnover for the Hoosiers. They're 7th today. Khalil Ware already with 3 blocks on the afternoon. In the middle of that defense has made quite the impact. Josiah Tynes to Bingham. Steinfeld gonna post up Ware. Right back to Paul Zelinskis, tipped away by Trey Galloway. Galloway thought it went off of Zelinskis, but it stays with the Greyhounds. Bingham finds Zelinskis on the inbound. Zelinskis back to Bingham. Craig is going to try a 3. This time he hits it. And the Indy Greyhounds have the lead.
And the crowd getting a bit unanxious here. Craig last year, 47% from downtown. That led the team. This is a team, as we've seen, not afraid to shoot it.
And the thing is, Austin, this is UIndy team. The Division II preseason poll isn't out yet. They'll probably be around the 10 spot. You look at the Division II standings and rankings, those are some teams that would probably be, decent D1 teams. So this UIndy team might be better than some teams Indiana plays in the non-con, some of the lower level teams IU plays at the beginning of the season.
It's a great tune-up, not only for UIndy, because Indiana obviously going to be one of the best teams they face, probably the best team, and obviously for Indiana going into the regular season with 3 non-conference games at home to start the year. This is not a bad first test, and you can tell, tied at 24, Greyhounds are giving everything the Hoosiers got.
UIndy head coach Paul Corsaro said, we're not going to see length, athleticism, and strength the rest of the year like we do in this game. As both free throws are made to put Indiana back on top. Less than a minute to go as Xavier Johnson called for the bump. Johnson, a player that 2 years ago in his first season with Indiana, especially early in the year, struggled with foul trouble. Had a few games where he picked up 2 fouls early and had to sit for most of the first half, but he gets to steal here. Can't corral the ball, though, as it went out of bounds. He hops over a fan and almost runs into some people on the baseline.
He nearly redeemed himself after that foul, even though he thought he had his feet set. Read that pass, just ran out of room.
Shot clock will reset, so they'll say Johnson gained possession. So a full 30 on the clock for the Greyhounds. About 13 seconds separate the shot and game clock. Steinfeld over to Tynes, down low. Zelinskis posting up against Trey Galloway. Paul Zelinskis goes up, hits it with the foul on Trey Galloway. Where that time came over to try to block, and he was a bit too late. And Zelinskis able to body up Galloway.
Nice spin move. You can tell Galloway maybe stuck his chest out a little bit too much, but don't take anything away from the finish for Zelinskis, the Lithuanian native. As you mentioned, Zion, a Quincy University transfer, averaged 11 points last year.
Once again, that's another school in the Great Lakes Valley Conference, so he's staying within the conference. The UND coaching staff got to see him up close last year as he finishes the three-point play.
And there are a few guys on this Greyhounds team that transferred within the conference, so as the saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them.
Not a lot of teams could beat UND last year in the GLVC. As they lead by 2, shot clock turned off to end the first half. Johnson going to set up the offense for IU. Johnson on the drive, renewed, 3 seconds left. In the corner, CJ Gunn for 3. Can't hit it, and UND will head into the locker room with a 27-25 lead over Indiana.
What an impressive.
So a bit of a surprise in the first 20 minutes. Let's see what the next 20 brings. As both teams return with their starting lineups, it'll be Greyhounds basketball with Paul Zelinskis. He gets it across the timeline to Jesse Bingham. Bingham has won an Indiana State championship back in high school with Warren Central. Here's David Ejaw with the basketball to Tynes. Shot clock at 5 now. Zelinskis back over to Kendrick Choa, not much of a shooter, and he shows it. Did not take a 3 all last season. He couldn't make that one.
The top shooter last year in all 3 divisions of NCAA, shooting a total of right around 73%. But you can tell three-pointers is not his game.
Trey Galloway finds Malik Renew open under the basket, taken away by Ejaw. Renew gets it back, finishes with a nice touch.
Renew didn't realize there was nobody near him, so he kind of hesitated, and by the time that happened, there was a guy on him, but he redeems himself and gets the second chance to fall.
Now tied up, a minute in to the second half. You can tell the defensive intensity has picked up for IU.
And communication's been better, it seems like, as well in this first minute.
Shot clock low again for the Greyhounds. Here is Kendrick Choa. He hits the shot. His first points of the game for really the leader of this UND squad.
Yeah, surprised it took him this long to get his first one to fall. A Midwest Region Player of the Year last year in the D2, the CCA, the Coaches Association.
He had 3 fouls in that first half as Xavier Johnson loses the ball and Josiah Tynes a bit slow to get up after diving after it. Looks to be all right in front of us. Tynes, a 5th-year senior out of Nova Scotia in Canada. They took a trip in August to play a few games in Nova Scotia. It was the first time since 8th grade that Josiah Tynes had played in front of his family. He played high school ball in Missouri. It was a really big moment for him.
Once every 4 years, coaches are allowed to have that.
As Ware wide open under the basket, 2 of the easiest points he'll have all season.
Once every 4 years, you're allowed that preseason trip, and obviously talking to Paul Corsaro, the head coach, he said connections can go a long way, and you see that there, a fantastic homecoming for Tynes.
Tied up at 29 now, here's Jesse Bingham. Over to Ejaw, who hit 2 threes in the first half. Back 2 times the Canadian. Shot clock is low again, taken away by Mackenzie Mbako. Here comes Xavier Johnson on the break. with the right hand, rolls it through.
With the steal and score.
Crafty finish from Xavier Johnson, holding it up, thinking he's going to lay it in, instead waits and moves it over. Really nice finish from Johnson. That's what he can do when he is at his best in transition. That's where Indiana can be so much more dangerous this year.
Corsaro up to Ija. Ija going to take Johnson, somehow gets it over the extended arm of Khalil Ware. Wow.
I don't know how that one went in. My goodness, that was a rainbow that got over that big wingspan of Ware and just dropped in.
Back and forth we go. Down low, it's Malik Renew, guarded by Ija. Renew, the lefty, finds the left side of the basket.
About the third time we've seen Renew spin to that favored left side of his on the baseline. That spin move of his can be lethal.
Jesse Bingham, hounded by McKenzie and Bako. They swing it to Ija, gets fouled on the perimeter by Renew. That's going to be a big thing for Malik Renew this year. He's going to be playing a lot of that power forward with Khalil Ware in with him. He's got to be able to guard outside.
Indiana really struggled last year against guys from the outside, even Trace Jackson-Davis, who is so good down low at blocking shots, picking up rebounds. We saw Renew right there. His feet weren't set, and that's why he kind of was a bit late and got his hands in and committed the foul.
Renew had a lot of foul issues last year, committed nearly 7 fouls every 40 minutes he played. So UIndy keeps the ball. It's Julian Steinfeld back in the game. Over to Jarvis Walker, who's also come back in. Shot clock again under 5 for the Greyhounds. Walker gets it over Ware, off the mark, and Renew comes away with it for Indiana, but he throws it to nobody, and Jarvis Walker comes away with it. As Zelinski gets chipped over himself, 4-on-1 for the Hoosiers. Galloway dumps it off for Ware.
Assist from Galloway.
That is how you run the break, Austin.
That's as good as it gets. 4-on-1, you have to score. They get it to their big man, number 1. Renew thought his pass was tipped when he was looking for Johnson, but the sixth-year senior now helped him out, bailed him out, and then started the transition the other way.
Hoosiers had numbers. They took advantage of it. Now, we'll see if IU can have a better second half at the free throw line. Not a good start. 5 of 12 now at the line for the Hoosiers. Josiah Tynes pushing it. Walker out to Zelinskis. Didn't take the 3. Tynes now on the drive. Stripped by Mbako, and it went off the right leg of Josiah Tynes. The Indiana defense has escalated here in the second half. They're on a tip
for him, knowing how much he idolized the school. And he was pretty good at football, too. He rushed for 8 touchdowns as a quarterback in 2010. That's still the program record.
So a dual sport athlete chose to stay on the basketball path in his post-grad career. But his Greyhounds getting rushed a little bit by Indiana to start this half. Now down by 4. Xavier Johnson has the ball for the Hoosiers. Greyhounds in a bit of a zone. Malik Renew in the left side. Renew swings it to the corner. More ball movement. Mbako finds room for a 14-footer. Craig comes away with it for UIndy. Sean Craig back to Zach Zool. He fires away well off the mark.
I think Zool second-guessed himself there. Didn't take it at first, then was fading away.
Xavier Johnson all the way to the rack.
That's how quickly, in the blink of an eye, Zion, Xavier Johnson go from the free throw line all the way to the basket.
He's got 6 now. Zach Zool harassed by McKenzie and Bako, and they get it to Jesse Bingham. Bingham has also been a bit quiet today, just 3 points. Here is Tynes, back to Bingham. He'll try to change that. He does.
3-point basket, Jesse.
I think he heard you, Zion.
Yeah, I apologize, Mr. Bingham. He's got 6 now on a pair of 3s. 37-34, IU leads it. Hoosiers keeping their starters on after the break. Here's Trey Galloway with the ball. Shot clock now at 10. Renew against Sean Craig, has to go to work. Renew has it taken away, gets it back to his hands. Outside, Xavier Johnson open for the tray, knocks it down.
We saw sometimes Renew down low, wouldn't try and out-muscle everyone else, and sometimes would be a bit too weak down low, but that time, even with the help coming, brings it in and then finds the right man in Johnson, who knocks down the 3 at the end of the possession.
First three of the day for Indiana. They're up by 6. Zoll finds Julian Steinfeld. Now to Josiah Tynes. Up top, Sean Craig will take. Too strong, right back to him. He pulls up, and it is smothered by Mbako. Nice pass to Malik Renew.
Hoosiers have had some troubles boxing out on some of those three-pointers, but Mbako says, get that out of here, and feeds it up to Renew for the easy slam.
And a foul is called on Xavier Johnson, or a timeout is called, rather, before Xavier Johnson stole the ball away. 76, the Hoosiers won the championship in the spring of 76, and then he graduated in 1980. Indiana won the next year, led by Isaiah Thomas in 1981. He wants a ring for himself. His team has come out of halftime on a great run. UIndy looking for a response, calling that last timeout. Here's the point guard, Josiah Tynes, and he finishes through contact. Good start.
Tynes got around Gabe Cupps, and at the very end, Mbako tried to come in and swat it away, but the contact already forced by Cupps. Bit of an undersized guard, 6'2", 175. And Tynes made him pay.
Tynes, a fifth-year senior. He's got that grown man strength that Gabe Cupps doesn't quite have yet. Tynes can't finish on the three-point play. Only the second free throw shot today by UIndy. They're now 1 of 2. Here is Cupps being guarded by Tynes. Once again, the Greyhounds in a zone at the timeout. Left side, it's Trey Galloway, back to Gabe Cupps. Mackenzie Mbako open for the three. Left it short to the right. But a save by Anthony Walker. Gabe Cupps was ready for it.
There's that athleticism there from the Miami transfer.
Walker flashes to the free throw line, finds a cutting Mbako.
A lot of really nice selfless passes by Indiana here in the second half, slowing things down and finding the open man when he's cutting down low. That time, it was the Duke decommit.
Mbako now has 7 points today, 7 rebounds too. Here is Josiah Tynes, over to David Ejaw, over the long contest of Ware, can't hit it, but Indiana tapped it back to UIndy. They swing it around, it'll be a three for Josiah Tynes, whiffs on everything.
Number 33, Craig returns for UIndy. Number 11,
So Indiana now ahead by 8 and looking to add on more.
A total of 16 offensive rebounds in this one. 7 by UIndy, we saw the 7th there, and 9 from Indiana. So both teams crashing the offensive glass quite nicely and giving themselves chances at second chance points.
Gabe Cupps picks up his dribble in a bit of trouble, but he finds Anthony Walker. Back around Mbako. Ware looking for it in the post, doesn't get it. Now Anthony Walker has the ball at that Big Ten logo. Floater no good. And here comes Paul Zelinskis. Zelinskis, 6 points today. Guarded by Mbako. They swing it around, Sean Craig. Craig going to drive on Anthony Walker. Kicks it out for the Bingham three. Bingham's hit 2 today, doesn't hit that one. Here's Gabe Cupps. Over to Mbako, pump fake. With the contact, he'll head back to the charity stripe.
Mbako's presence and his ability playing as kind of a 3 this year for Indiana to not shoot the 3 there, but at least fake the 3 and allow himself to get inside, creating the contact. Couldn't get the bucket to go, but he'll go to the free throw line, hitting as well. And for someone, obviously, Mbako, who expected to be a one-and-done gun, supposed to take a big jump. It helps to have a legend back in the program. Mike Woodson's done a fantastic job bringing back some of the guys he's been closest with during his playing times.
Gunn was an Indiana All-Star out of Lawrence North High School. As Mbako comes out of the break and hits both free throws for Indiana, they now have their first double-digit lead of the game. The Greyhounds looking for a response out of the break. We'll see what Josiah Tynes and company can do. Zelinskis drives. There's nothing to go, nowhere to go for UIndy. Zelinskis, 6 on the shot clock. They swing it around. Bingham now with the runner. Nice touch.
2-point basket, Jesse Bingham.
Jesse Bingham last year was first team in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. Averaged nearly 16 a game for the Greyhounds. Here's Gunn to Anthony Walker inside. Walker finding space and laying it home.
Anthony Walker for 2.
Seeing a lot more athleticism down low. Now nearly a turnover created by Gabe Cubs. Walker is such an interesting guy because of his size. Obviously a bit more on the lankier side. But he's someone who not necessarily going to be a big man, but has the ability to quickly catch it and turn to that favored right side of his and finish.
Once again, 4-year player at Miami. He graduated in the spring there with a sociology degree. As we see Gabe Cubs, the freshman, giving the 5th-year senior Josiah Tynes troubles, and it's a 10-second backcourt violation. This crowd loves the effort from their freshman point guard.
We just talked about defense coming out of the half, and Cubs nearly got the turnover. I don't think the Greyhounds knew how much time there was left to get it over the timeline, and Cubs was hounding one of the Greyhounds, and Indiana gets the ball back.
Now here is Cubs directing the offense on the other end. Finds Anthony Walker, who scored the last points. Here's Gunn, back to Walker. Fade away from Anthony Walker is Pierre.
That is pretty. A nice find from Gunn, not turning the ball over, knew exactly where Walker was, and Anthony did the rest. My goodness, what a shot.
Cubs giving Tynes issues again, bringing the ball up the court. Tynes looking for somebody to just come take the ball from him. Cubs knocks away again, and you can hear it. This crowd is loving the effort from Gabe Cubs.
There aren't many times when Michael Woods is going to clap his hands like that, but with the last 2 defensive possessions from Cubs, and telling his bench, hey, that's how it's done.
Out of Centerville, Ohio, doing the dirty work. So now instead they use Jesse Bingham to direct the offense. 5 on the shot clock. Bingham against Anthony Leal. Tipped by C.J. Gunn. Ball is on the ground. It's going to be a foul on Jesse Bingham. Just kind of was on top of Anthony Leal on the ground. You can hear this Indiana crowd, Austin. The effort of these second teamers in the last couple of minutes is something that's always appreciated in Bloomington.
The depth this year is something that I think we had a question about coming into this season, obviously with all the new guys, how it would work. We had a feeling what the starting 5 would look like, but Cubs, Walker, and the rest of the crew look pretty good, and obviously Anthony Leal, a Bloomington native, when he makes a play like that, the crowd's going to get on its feet.
This is the all-bench lineup in right now for the Hoosiers. Cubs over to Anthony Leal for the 3. Too strong, but Peyton Sparks on the offensive glass. Sparks lost it for a second, but a foul will be called on Jarvis Walker, reaching in the cookie jar.
Foul number 4, Jarvis Walker. That is his 2nd, team's 5th.
So just a baseline out of bounds for IU.
Number 0, Ingram, returns for the Greyhound.
Anthony Leal missed that last 3. Only played 24 total minutes last season. May play more in 2023-24. He inbounds to Sparks. Sparks tries to get it back to Leal, but taken away. Zelinskis on the deflection. Here comes Zelinskis on the other end, taken right back, but he gets it back on the ground. They're swinging around. Ejov finds himself open, straightaway 3, short, back out. Zelinskis will try 1. Cubs comes away with it for the Hoosiers.
We're seeing UIndy go back to that first half where all they was doing was chucking up 3s.
And Cubs, with the runner, has his first point in an Indiana uniform.
Looks a lot like that Trey Galloway shot we've seen the last few years here in Bloomington, and now the Hoosiers chant raining from the crowd.
14-point lead, the largest of the day. Peyton Sparks gets the steal. Fast break for IU. The big man putting it up, and he slows down, and he is holding his leg after that play. Sparks grabbing at the left ankle area as he took a tumble on that fast break. Sparks, the 6'10" transfer coming from Ball State here in this first exhibition, goes down on the play. Not what you want to see, Austin.
Now, the last thing you want to see in any game, but especially an exhibition, is a big man like that to go down. I'm not sure if he slipped or maybe got his ankle tied up, but he wanted to take it himself. Now being helped up, that's a good sign.
Sparks is brought to his feet, but still walking very gingerly. Let's see if he stays in this game. Indiana crowd trying to lift him up. It's maybe a situation where maybe he takes his free throws and they foul intentionally to get him out the game. But he is walking back to the bench. So he'll come out of the game. Khalil Ware returns.
Number 1, Ware into the game for Sparks.
So that means instead CJ Gunn will take these free throws and Sparks will head out.
So he's injured. Visiting coach gets to pick one of the 4 guys that are on the court. He takes 11 to shoot 2 shots.
So Paul Corsaro got to choose who took the free throws, and it'll be CJ Gunn, as we mentioned.
On behalf of Sparks.
Got a good explanation there from our officiating crew, led by Steve McJunkins, who told us the situation there. Gunn makes the first free throw.
And you quickly looked at the box score. Gunn was the only one to attempt a free throw in the first half. He was 1 for 3.
Still not sure about that choice. Gunn is an 80% free throw shooter last year, but he only goes 1 for 2 on this trip. Struggled today at the line. 15-point IU lead. Peyton Sparks being looked at on the sideline for the Hoosiers. Up top, Zach Zool. Zool will take the mid-ranger, blocked by C.J. Gunn. Ball on the ground. Renew comes away with it for Indiana. Malik Renew in transition. Finds Gunn barely. Gunn pulls up for the midi. Air ball. Jarvis Walker, 1-on-2, will get fouled by Cups. Not sure that's the type of play Paul Corsaro free throws for the Greyhounds. Walker looking for his first points today. There is his first point of the game and of the season. As we mentioned, Indiana will have another exhibition against Marion on Friday. This is the only exhibition the Greyhounds will play this season, so they'll go straight in to regular season play here next Friday on November 10th against Parkside as Walker goes 2 for 2. 13-point lead as Indiana on a 28-13 run, looking to extend on it. Malik Renew down low. Spins against Kendrick Choa, but can't finish on that right side. Renew, the left-hander, unable to get it to go that time. Josiah Tynes taken away by Gabe Cups. Cups flips it over to Leal. He finishes. Anthony Leal with his first points today. The Bloomington native.
Cups has been great on the defensive end. He committed the foul before that timeout, but a pair of steals. And now the air ball chance reigning.
Josiah Tynes airballed a 3 earlier in this half, so that's why you hear that. From the Indiana student section, one of the best in the country as always. And they have showed out, fouled in a little bit later, but they have showed out for this exhibition. Inbound for UND after the foul. 15-point game again. Jesse Bingham out of bounds on the catch. It goes back to the Hoosiers. This was a game, once again, UND led by 2 at halftime, 27-25. But the Hoosiers in the exhibition have straightened things out in the second half. Just Gabe Cups with the basketball. Bit of a bad pass, but it gets away, but then Gunn fires one in, too hot for Anthony Walker's hands. Jesse Bingham on the drive, goes up, banks it home with the foul.
Bingham, 2-point basket and the foul.
So Indiana a bit disoriented on that defensive possession. Nobody was kind of there, and then Leo came in and knocked him on the arm. Bingham still got it to go off the glass. And now UND, not a lot of time to work with, but if they can catch fire like they did at the end of the second half with some threes and convert at the free throw line, this game is by no means over.
Bingham now with 8 points in this half, 11 on the afternoon. He leads all scorers in this game. His Greyhounds still trail by 12. Now we've seen Trey Galloway, got more point guard experience last year. He brought it up for IU. Lil almost lost it, and he's fouled outside by Jarvis Walker.
Foul on number 4, Jarvis Walker. That is his 4th.
It's the 4th foul today
Team
on Walker.
7.
So he is 1 away from disqualification, but he'll stay in there. And now Indiana in the 1-and-1 bonus. So Lil, who last year made the only pair of free throws he attempted, can't make that one. UND not quite down and out yet. Josiah Tynes has it for the Greyhounds. Trying to squeeze one into Bingham, knocked out of bounds by Anthony Lil. Now with the Greyhounds going on a bit of a push, Xavier Johnson, the senior leader, will come back in for IU. And we're seeing Cups now play with Xavier Johnson. That's something that IU wants to see a little bit this season in lineups.
They got only a little bit last year, a little bit of a taste of Hood Schifino and Xavier Johnson playing together. And now we'll see how the new freshman in Gabe Cups plays with the veteran in Xavier Johnson.
As ball goes out of bounds. Of course, Xavier Johnson missed the last 24 games last year after fracturing his foot at Kansas. Coming back, got a waiver to come back for a 6th college season. He contests the shot that time, and Jarvis Walker misses everything because of the shot contest. His pass tipped out of bounds by Sean Craig on the other end. It's the first game Johnson has played since December 17th of 2022.
Number 5, Paul Zelenskis checks back.
And if Indiana can maybe limit his minutes, obviously we saw the first year he was at Indiana, there were times where he'd hurt himself by committing silly fouls or turnovers where Mike Woodson would opt to go to the bench. But if Gabe Cups can be that flare off the bench, then limiting Johnson's minutes would be probably better long term.
Anthony Walker misses inside. Now a bit of a drought for Indiana on the offensive end. They still lead by 12. There we see that defense of Xavier Johnson. Tynes has to get it away to Zelenskis. Already half the shot clock gone. Jesse Bingham trying to squeeze inside, can't do so. Fast break for Indiana, over to Walker. Good pass by Galloway, good finish by Walker.
Assist from Galloway.
Indiana's been great with fast break opportunities, 3-on-1 for one run, 4-on-1 making the right passes.
Sean Craig somehow gets past Walker and Renew on the contest. So both teams trade layups in that sequence. If you're UND right now, you can't trade baskets, you gotta get some stops. Walker picks up his dribble, finds Galloway. He's blitzed outside. Great pass into the right corner. Johnson down to Renew. He's double teamed, but a foul is called. They're going to say he was going up for a shot too, so it'll be a 2-shot foul.
Foul on number 5.
UND's been very aggressive, playing up close and personal defensively, and then down low, Renew trying to get to that left side. Maybe at the end thought about passing it out to the corner. I believe Anthony Walker was over there, but instead we'll get a pair of free throws.
Renew, as a freshman, was a 71% foul shooter, which for a 6'9" big man, you'll take that.
Absolutely, considering the way the rest of some of these Indiana players, really on both sides, have struggled at the free throw line. It's a good sign for Renew to make his shots from the charity stripe.
Gabe Cups gets a standing ovation as he exits the game. We saw him make some tremendous defensive plays. So Renew hits both at the line. Tynes brings it ahead for UND. He'll get the screen from Kendrick Choa. Throws it away, ball is loose. Walker saves it for the Greyhounds. David Ija fouled by Anthony Walker.
Foul on number 4, Anthony Walker. That is his first and the team's 6th.
Looked like he got him right on the hand. Johnson and Walker weren't necessarily in agreement, but I think we heard a pretty clear slap.
Yeah, I heard that too. First foul of the game on Walker, so not a huge deal. Kendrick Choa down low. Goes up for the shot, and it is taken by Anthony Walker. Galloway in transition. Mbako in the corner. Got it.
Go for three. Assist from Galloway.
Two-way sequence for the Hoosiers. UIndy wants a timeout. They'll get it. Indiana with the largest lead of the game. So a lot of happy campers in Bloomington today. They'll go home ecstatic about their squads, what they have done this weekend. Of course, Indiana football yesterday almost pulled off the upset of the game, of the week, maybe even of the season, but fell short against Penn State up in Happy Valley. So out of the timeout, UIndy has the ball. The Greyhounds will head back up to Indianapolis with the loss. Once again, this is an exhibition, so it doesn't count for much, but both teams getting to see their squad in action for the first time this season. As Tynes misses the three, and it goes off of Trey Galloway, staying with UIndy.
A couple of times today, Indiana have been caught ball watching on those three-point attempts. Not a lot of boxing out. Galloway can't corral that rebound. It goes off his foot, and the Greyhounds will have a second chance to score.
Zelinskis in the corner, high arcing shot, drops.
Three-point basket, Paul Zelinskis.
Paul Zelinskis, the Lithuanian, hits another three. Second today. Xavier Johnson splits a double team out to Mbako. He wants another long ball. It falls back to Mbako, fumbled around on the ground, and he lays it in. Nice acrobatic finish.
A great steal from Ware as well to give him that.
Zelinskis sneaks it in over the shot blocking Mbako. 14-point game.
Now, UIndy hanging in there. As we mentioned, they need some stops. They want a chance to pull off a miraculous comeback.
Galloway showing off the handle, but well off on the shot attempt. Here is Josiah Tynes, 7 assists today. Gives it to Bingham. Zelinskis will try for his 8th straight point, but he can't. Now Xavier Johnson will slow it down for the Hoosiers. He finds Khalil Ware. Well, with the blocking foul, gets the shot to fall, and something new we're seeing in college basketball this year, Austin.
Yeah, the change of the block charge rule obviously makes it now more difficult
Ware, the foul.
Commit or basically get a charge. The defensive player now has to be set before the offensive player goes in the air. It's all because you want to just limit the amount of contact and the risk of an injury. Every time that happens, you almost squeal a little bit and hope an injury doesn't occur. And obviously the other one, players can now wear any number between 0 and 99.
And not only that, not only when they go airborne, it's when you plant your foot to go airborne. So we'll see a lot more blocking fouls, I think, early in the season in college basketball. You mentioned the number change rule. Now players can wear any number from 6 through 9, which they couldn't before as Ware completes a three-point play. So before that, you can only wear 0 through 5, both on your first and second numbers. Now you can wear whatever. Big example of that is Bronny James at USC. He's going to be wearing number 6, the number his dad wore in the NBA for so long.
What number would you be, Zion?
Foul on number 2, Gabe Cupps. That is his
if
third.
I wanted to get really creative with it, Austin, I think I'd wear 84. Really weird, I know. I just like the way the 8 and the 4 look, but what about you?
Timeout, Indianapolis.
I'd wear like 98 or something.
Why? National Basketball Association. Earlier in this half, we saw Peyton Sparks go down with a left leg injury. He initially was being iced up on the IU sideline. He's now officially gone all the way back to the locker room. So the Ball State big man who it was expected to play a huge role for IU this year with a concerning start to his Indiana career. First free throw of the 1-and-1 was made by Jesse Bingham. I'm sure we'll hear more about Sparks throughout the week as the Hoosiers have another exhibition against Marion on Friday. Bingham gets the friendly roll, going 2 for 2 at the line. .15 IU lead. The freshman Mackenzie Mbako head tops up to Khalil Ware, who slams it over Paul Zelinskis.
He put him on a poster. Indiana breaking the press so nicely. And then the cherry on top, it feels like, to this contest. Nice and pass from Mbako. Helps when the guy on the other end is 7 feet. He's got to get it up there, let the big man do the rest.
His second, team's 8.
The two most highly touted players coming into IU this year. Mbako, the freshman, McDonald's All-American. Khalil Ware was a McDonald's All-American in 2022. Spent the season at Oregon and decided to come to Bloomington. So Indiana makes some subs. See Mbako come out of the game. Gabe Cups return, so does CJ Gunn and Anthony Leal. 17-point lead for IU. Once again, the Hoosiers will face another in-state exhibition opponent in Marion as Gabe Cups drives inside and completes the play. Bingham again, I believe that's the 3rd time today he's caught the ball in the corner and stepped out of bounds on the catch.
And not too much room over there the closer you get towards the corner, and Bingham's learned that the hard way on a multitude of occasions. It's now the 18th turnover for the Greyhounds today. Indiana has 10 themselves, as we mentioned. Been a bit of a sloppy game. Not too much of a surprise considering it's unofficially game 1.
Bingham has a 3rd of those UND turnovers, 6 today for the senior. Not his strongest showing, but he does have 13 points. CJ Gunn thought about the jumper, take a couple dribbles and pull up, left it short.
2 times that Gunn has been short, and we talked about his confidence. He's not afraid to shoot it from anywhere.
Tynes can't hit a 3. Here's Bingham trying to do it on the rebound. No dice. So under a minute left here, Indiana, after trailing by 2 at halftime, will comfortably win this exhibition against the Division II Indianapolis Greyhounds. IU swings it around the perimeter. Khalil Ware will try a jumper. Got it from 3.
For 3!
That's a part of his game that still developing, but he is not shy to take those shots from beyond the arc.
If he can stretch the floor, then my goodness, Indiana is that much more dangerous. Shot at just over 25% last year, but Indiana so selfless. It felt like nobody wanted to take the shot. And then number 1 said, I'll do it myself. He's got plenty of room. Perfect swish.
That's a good stroke, too, on the play. 12 second-half points for Ware. He's got 14 to lead all scorers on the court today. Last possession, assumingly for UND, ends in a miss by Zelinskis. As the senior Anthony Leal will dribble it out for the Hoosiers. Indiana with an excellent second half, outscoring UND 49-25 in the last 20 minutes. Mike Woodson and Paul Corsaro shake up at half court as Indiana wins it 74-52.
Fantastic showing for Indiana in that second half. 49 points in those second 20 minutes. And defensively, they were stellar as well, only allowing 52 to a solid UND.
Music by Music
चल के बाद बंदे के
ए भोला समिति से भमिया तोहार सिर्फ संडे के बुझो जी अब करे हमारे इंतजार किस्म संडे के सुन भोला हमारे मजबूर
खुशी नी